Welcome back. This is Tuhon Aditya from LightHaven. Today is going to be a slightly different video. We're going to be talking about footwork, why we step the way we do, in the directions that we do, in the angles that we do, why we use the shapes that we do within the Filipino martial arts, but specifically within the art of Pekiti Tirsia. I'm also going to be showing you some basic applications with stick and how this translates to empty hands as well. I have two major problems that I need to solve when it comes to footwork in a weapon-based context. If me and Siddharth are fighting empty hands, then around about from here, or maybe even an inch further away, is where I can reach him with my longest weapon. Right? Just about reach him. I can just about reach him. So I essentially need to be able to cover this much distance dynamically. The issue with the weapon is if Siddharth just extends his weapon and steps back a little bit, now Siddharth's first target and my first target are our hands, are each other's hands. So now I have to cover so much more distance, right? That's problem number one. Problem number two is if Siddharth does nothing and he just keeps his weapon facing me and I'm stepping to be able to cut Siddharth, I am also constantly dying. So I cannot move in a straight line because that weapon just has to be facing me. So I have to cover more distance, but I cannot cover that distance in a straight line. Because of that, a lot of the beginning footwork in most Filipino martial arts is based around stepping off center line to step back onto center line. Because again, I still need to cover that distance, but I cannot cover that distance in a straight line. So this is where your open triangle comes in to get off center line, and my closed triangle comes in to crash back or work my way back into center line. Now let's talk about why we step at a 45-degree angle and what is my preference in terms of if his weapon is in his right hand, do I want to be stepping here or do I want to be stepping here, and why would I want to choose the direction that I'm choosing. Now just off the bat, if I could choose every single time, and you cannot choose every single time, but we'll come to that in a bit. If I could choose, then every single time I would like to end up on the outside of Siddharth's shoulders. So this is on the, when I'm inside Siddharth's shoulders. Now I'm outside Siddharth's shoulders. I would like to end up on the outside of Siddharth's shoulders towards the weapon bearing arm or weapon bearing side. The reason for this is that from here I am able to control whichever arm is bearing the weapon and control it, bypass it, and then start striking more vital or more important targets. There could be times, however, when I cannot make that choice. Maybe he's given me a more horizontal strike or a wilder swing or something, and I'm not confident about stepping 45 degrees, and I have to step, he hits me, and I have to step to the inside. Now, I can make this work, but the problem with stepping on the inside is that now that hand can come into play in a much more strong position, in a much more tactically strong position. And it's also closer to me. So whether he wants to punch me, grab me, disarm me, parry me, whatever, that hand can come into play a lot easier when I'm inside his shoulders than when I'm outside his shoulders. So let's look at a slightly practical application of why I would step, or when I would step, or how I would step 45 degrees to the outside. So if we are just going angle 1, angle 2, I'm going to step to the outside, step in, cut that arm, control that arm, and that's me finishing the fight, or at least hitting a target that can lead to me finishing the fight. I stepped, the attack was coming, I stepped to try and get behind the weapon because it's traveling this way, and I also stepped to a place where whatever comes from that side, whether it be a backhand or whether it be a punch, it's going to take a while for it to reach me, whereas if I'm here and I step to the inside, that hand can reach me a lot faster. If somehow the hand has passed and it's come to this load, this is also going to reach me a lot faster. Here, it's still going to reach me, I still have to be aware of it, but it might take a split millisecond longer, enough time for me to hit, control, and then go to a more relevant, important target. Now let's talk about why I would move backwards at an angle. Now, it's important to understand, especially when it comes to the art of Pekiti, because I can't speak for all of FMA, I can only speak for the art that I do, that this is an art with its roots in guerrilla warfare. And we constantly and consistently say that this is an art that focuses on offense, counter offense and recounter offense. Defense is his problem, which means that if I'm running through a forest and I'm fighting a bunch of people, I don't have time to move around, sort of measure what Siddharth's doing, and then make a measured approach. Because if I spend too much time fighting Siddharth, I'm going to get attacked by a bunch of people coming from behind, coming from the side, because again, it's guerrilla warfare, right? So I want to be able to finish a fight as quickly as possible. When I am making these forward 45-degree steps, essentially what I'm looking to do is as soon as we come and we make contact, I'm stepping to be able to get past, make an entry, get past the weapon, hit the arm, control the arm, and then look to finish the fight. I cannot step straight again because we spoke about this. The weapon is right there. It's easier for me to get hit, but I do need to go through Siddharth as quickly as possible. This is why I'm stepping at a 45-degree angle going forward. Now, let's say that for whatever reason, I cannot go forwards, right? Or he's striking really, really fast, or really, really strong, really, really hard, and I cannot deflect his weapon in any safely. Maybe I'm afraid of my own weapon. Maybe I'm afraid that he's going to knock my weapon too far out of the way, and then he's going to have entries. Whatever the reason might be, I'm not confident about going weapon to weapon, side of the weapon, back of the weapon, whatever, and I don't have a shield. But I still want to maintain my offensive or counter-offensive approach. Could also be maybe I am trying to draw him in to make him extend towards me. Because again, how am I going to work my counter-offense? By taking this arm as my first target. Now when I'm stepping back at that 45-degree angle, he's coming to hit my neck, cut my neck. I am stepping out of the way and cutting his hand. If I step back, if Siddharth just keeps his arm extended, if I step back, I can just about reach his hand. Now, as a sort of rule of thumb, if you can target that hand, that's amazing. But the hand is the end of this long lever. It's a thing that moves the fastest. It's a thing that moves the most. It's a thing that you can quite easily miss. For me, I would rather be able to target the forearm than the hand. If I miss the forearm, I can still hit the hand. If I miss the hand, I'm going to miss everything. If I step back in a straight line, I can maybe hit the hand. If I step back and in a 45-degree angle, I can hit the hand, I can hit the forearm. I have a better position to hit both of those things. And I can also work, again, depending on what my strategy is, I don't have to go 1-to-1. I can go, again, if he goes 1, I can go 3-to-1. Again, if he goes with an angle 1, 2-to-1. There's a whole bunch of stuff that I can do where I'm just trying to, again, it could be I'm trying to make him extend. I'm trying to draw him in. And every time he extends towards me, I'm cutting the hand, getting out of the way, cutting the hand, getting out of the way. And when I feel it's ready, so I've cut the hand, got out of the way, maybe I go the other way, cut the hand, and get out of the way, or I continue in that same direction. So I cut the hand, get out of the way, I cut the hand, get out of the way, and then whenever I feel that I'm ready, that's my 45-degree step in, and I'm working my way past his weapon to an entry to be able to strike a more relevant target. Now let's look at this from an empty hands context. If Siddharth punches me, now this is the line of Siddharth's attack. I need to be able to get my head or my body, depending on where he's attacking, off the line of this attack. So very simply, if I step 45 degrees off, at least my head is out of the line of the attack. Again, if he's punching, if he's crossing me, I would prefer being here, because if I am here, I am in reach of both hands. Similarly, if he's jabbing me, then I would prefer being here. This is a footwork essay of sorts, right? So why are we stepping 45 degrees? I'm stepping 45 degrees very simply because from a 45-degree angle, I can reach him with my hands, with my feet, without the need for any adjustment. I don't need to cover any distance, make up any distance. I can immediately reach him, and my counterattack can immediately begin. I don't need to be able to parry and then enter. My parry is the beginning of the counterattack. It's not separate from my counterattack, so to say. However, again, there could be times when I am not confident of entering for whatever reason, or again, I want to be able to draw him in. Maybe I want a big one, a jab and a big overhand right or something. I want a particular response from him, or I'm just, again, I'm not comfortable with the power. I'm not comfortable with being close. I want to hurt him a bit before I close on him. Now, FMA has that concept of defanging the snake. So when he is punching, when I'm looking to break those knuckles with my elbow, so when he's punching, that reverse 45-degree step is a great tool for me to be able to make distance away, break, and then if I need to, follow it up with something, and then work my way in. And it's also sometimes if I don't know if a jab or a cross or a jab and something else is coming, I don't know if he's going to do one punch or two punch, getting out of the way gives me more time to see if something else is about to arrive. Again, if I step straight back, I'm not going to be able to, his fist is not going to meet my elbow the same way I want if I step at a 45-degree angle. And lastly, again sticking to that empty hand context, if I step 45 degrees in whichever direction, I can reach him with my hands, with my legs, without adjustment. If I step at a 90-degree angle, so I sidestep or I sort of square up like this, for whatever reason, there could be many reasons, but whatever reason you choose to square up like this, I cannot reach him with my hands anymore. I need a slight adjustment, whether it's a step or a lean or a turn or something, but I can reach him with my legs. If I step at a reverse 45-degree angle, I cannot reach him with my hands, I cannot reach him with my lead leg, I can only reach him with my rear leg. So my forward 45 degrees, whether with stick or whether with knife, you can relax now, whether with stick or whether with knife or whether with empty hands, is all about that instant going instantly into a counter attack, trying to instantly finish the fight, not instantly but as quickly as possible. When I'm stepping back at a 45 degrees, I'm trying to get him to extend, overreach, and generally in the Filipino martial arts, we are using that as an opportunity to hurt his attacking limbs and then begin the counter attack from there. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked what you saw, if you learned from what you saw, please do like and share this video. Please do comment down below, or any questions that you have, please do leave them down below. All of these things really do help out the school and the channel a lot. A huge thank you to all of our patrons. Thank you so much for your support. If you'd like to know more about our Patreon page and the exclusive content that we offer there, check out the link I'm going to leave in the description down below. Lastly, thank you Siddharth for his help. Thank you guys for watching and see you in the next video.